Hello everyone and welcome back. We are now starting video tutorials for Geometry Goal 2, infinitely smaller than Goal 1. Huzzah, happy days. What we're going to be looking to be doing now is getting ourselves set up. There are a few basic things to get you guys comfortable with, and then we're going to start getting into the meat of the chapter. First things first, let's see here. We're going to do some really painfully bare bones. Like you probably already got this right in a knowledge check. Anything divided by 0. So here we see divide by 0, that's going to be undefined. Like I don't even need to explain it. And then 0 divided by any number is going to be 0. Just want to make sure we remember that. But now we're going to get into the meat of this. You can see a whole bunch of vocab. Corresponding, alternate interior, alternate exterior, and your brain is just going, wait, what? So let's talk about vocab first. You can see we have some lines here. Those are pretty straightforward. But this line here, this is called a transversal. What that means, it is a line that cuts across, we'll use across, other lines. So you can have any orientation you can think of. You can have, there's a transversal. You can have, there's a transversal. You can have, see, technically that's a transversal. That's less what we want to be talking about. What we want to talk about is the kind of angles that are made by a transversal. And now here's where a small mountain of vocab starts coming at you. So first things first, corresponding angles. Think of those as, the closest I can come up with for layman is matching angles. So for example, if we have a transversal, this angle, you can see, if you just visually cover it up, this angle is my upper left-hand corner. Down over here, what's my upper left-hand corner? This one. That's what I mean when I say matching. So those are corresponding. Next up, you have alternate interior. So interior means you're going to, oops, let me redo that. Let's see here. So for that one, if you have two lines, interior means inside. So put that in quotes, inside. So this kind of stuff in here is what's going to be considered inside. So alternate means that we're going like alternating V-ups or alternating, you see this in a lot of different places. There's one angle, and if it's an alternate, it's on the other side, so there's your alternate interior, okay? Next up, you have alternate exterior. That is going to look like, I'm not giving myself enough room for this. Let's get that a little bit smaller. There we go. There we go. And there's our transversal. Exterior then is going to mean outside. So here's one alternate exterior. There's another alternate exterior. So they're both on the, this is considered the outside. This over here is considered the outside. So here's one on the outside. Go on the other side of the transversal. There's the alternate exterior. Then the next one is same side interior. And I really gave myself not a lot of space. So here we go. Same side means they're on the same side. And it's on the interior because it's between your two lines. So that's what same side interior is going to be. Alternate interior angles in particular, they are your besties. They follow you around like happy little puppies, and they help you whenever they can. So that's your basics, and this is in addition, ladies and gentlemen, to vertical angles. So vertical angles, which is the ones that are across from each other, and from linear pairs, which are two angles that make a straight line. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 types of vocab words that you want to keep track of when you start to look at this chapter, okay? So again, these notes, take the time, put it in your notebook. Do not just blank and then forget it all. Write it down. I'll even give you a couple of seconds to hit pause. Now that we're all set, now we're ready to actually tackle this problem. So corresponding, I'm going to shorten that a little bit. Corresponding, there we go. So how do we do that? That's matching. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick an angle, off we go. Let's say angle 2. Angle 2. And what's its match? So angle 2, this is the upper left-hand angle of this side. So I'm going to shimmy over here. What's my upper left-hand angle? 6. Then what do you want? You want alternate interior. That's how I'm going to shorthand it. Alternate interior. Okay. Alternate interior, we want them inside. So let's look at that one. So we're going to say angle 4, and I'm going to wander across. There we go. Angle 6. It's worth mentioning that there are 2 sets of alternate interior angles, because we don't just have 4 and 6. We also have 3 and 5 that are also alternate interiors. If we're looking at corresponding, we do have 2 and 6, but we also have 3 and 7. We have 1 and 5. We have 4 and 8. So you have actually, for once in the software, a little bit of freedom when you're choosing your angles. What's the next one they want? Pair of alternate exterior. So alternate exterior angles, that's how I'll abbreviate it. That's on the outside. So let's look at 7. What's a good match? I got to go on the other side and then go all the way over. 7 and 1. Angle 7 and angle 1. That's what you're going to be doing for this particular topic. So this one, very, very notes heavy. Okay, a lot of things, draw pictures for yourself. I'll be honest. When I was back in the day, in my high school days when I was learning geometry, the pictures helped me more than anything else. Okay. Next up, now that we kind of understand all of our vocab words, let's see here. We have our transversal. The measure of angle 3 is 32. Find the measure of angle 6 and the measure of angle 8. So I think I've said this in a prior video, but just in case, if you see an M in front of an angle symbol, that means measure. So the measure of angle 3 is 32. The measure of angle 6, the measure of angle 8. Now here's the key phrase right here, parallel lines. Let me draw some parallel lines to give you a little bit of emphasis and not be subtle. Since these are parallel, once we know the measure of one angle, we automatically know the measure of every other angle. So, for example, 1 and 3 are vertical angles. Vertical angles are always congruent, so this is 32. Let's see here. 3 and 7 are corresponding angles because they match. That's the lower right-hand side, that's the lower right-hand side, which means they're congruent, 32. 3 and 5 are alternate interiors. Alternate interiors are your friends specifically because they're always congruent, so this is 32. So I already know a whole bunch of my angles. I know the measure of angles 1, 3, 5, and 7 all equal 32. All right, that's great, Ms. Dubois, but that's not what they're looking for. They want 6 and 8 all the way over here, and how do I fizz widget that? Well, if this is 32, this here, 3 and 4 is a linear pair. A linear pair, if you recall, and here's another vocab word, is supplementary, which means it adds up to 180. So 32 plus the measure of angle 4 equals 180. Minus 32, minus 32. The measure of angles 2, 4, 6, and 8 is in fact 100, wow, my brain skittered to a halt, 148. And honestly, it really is that simple. Don't overthink it. It really is that simple. So over here, we're told 136. So I'm not even going to look at what they're asking for. I'm just going to say 136, 136, 136. Now what's 180 minus 136? 44, 44, 44, 44. Now I'm ready. What are they looking for? The measure of angle 5 and 7. Oh, yeah, it's 44 degrees. Didn't even need to think. Over here, the measure of angle 1 is 142. Okay, 142, 142, 142. Next up, what's this one? What is 180 minus 142? 38, 38, 38, 38. Okay, I'm ready. So we want the measure of angle 6. So the measure of angle 6 is 38. What's the measure of angle 7? The measure of angle 7 is 142. Boom, done, nice and simple. And as always, since they gave us easy mode, now we tick it up. Oh, miss, there's variables. But that's okay because you came from some version of algebra, algebra 1 or algebra 2, we don't know which. And since we have all of those things that we know are congruent, so for example, 62, oops, it's already written for us. So if we know that that's 62, we know that that's 62, that's 62, and that's 62. Oh, we have an equation. 5z minus 43 equals 62. All right, this isn't that bad now. So plus 43 plus 43, 5z equals 105, divide by 5, divide by 5, z equals 21. Now, let's see here. This is 62, so what is 180 minus 62? So the measure of angle y is 180 minus 62, so 118 degrees. There you go. This one, let's see here. These two are same side interior. That's my abbreviation for same side interior, which means they add up to 180. So x plus 82 equals 180. So let's see here, minus 82, x equals 98. Okay. And hey, look, if this is 98 and these across from each other are vertical angles, then that means 3y plus 17 equals 98. Minus 17, 3y equals 81. Divide by 3, y equals 27. Yes, I did that in my head. Okay. This, for the record, is a DSA question. Next, for the record, is a DSA question, and miss, there's 2 lines, there's multiple transversals, but we still know what we're doing. 75, 75, 75, 75, 75, 75. Okay, so what is 180 minus 75? Oh yeah, it's 105. And then that means this is 105. So the measure of angle y is 75 degrees. And now we know 5z minus 50 equals 75. Ms. Dubois, good job. Not even reading what you're writing. 105, 105. So plus 50, 5z equals 155. Divide by 5, z equals 31. Didn't even break a sweat, didn't even panic. So over here we have same side interior again. So these two angles are same side interior. So what's 180 minus 79? 101. So the measure of angle y is 101 degrees. All right? And hey, look, they're alternate interiors, right? Because this is on one side of their transversal and this is on the other side. So 4z minus 23 equals 101. Plus 23, 4z equals 124, divide by 4, z equals, 31 again, even though it was a completely different set of problems. So those are your basics, and in the first family, you already got 2 DSA questions. That's not bad at all. Next family is going to be pretty tiny, but we always want to keep ourselves in line with proofs because they will come back and bite you in goal 3. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.